Okay, class, we're about to start the second part of lesson 6. It says simplifying and evaluating expressions. Simplifying an expression means to perform all the operations you can within an expression. When working with variables, you must remember an important rule. You can add or subtract like terms only. A term is a number, a variable, or the product or quotient of numbers and variables which cannot include a sum or a difference. Okay, so basically, a term, now I would just tell you like this, because I want to give a more simplified explanation. Terms are separated by addition and subtraction. Let me repeat that. Terms are separated by addition and subtraction only. So, if you look down here at example 2, you notice we got all these values here. But we have subtraction, addition, subtraction, addition. That would mean that it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 terms here. So just to let you know, terms are only only separated by addition or subtraction. Now, in order for you to combine like terms or simplify like they say, like terms are values that have the same variable that's taken to the same exponent. That is the only way that these are like terms. So let me do example 2. Well, no, you know what? I'm going to wait and do the actual problems from the examples, from the problem set that we will have. But let's look down here at the distributive property. Basically, the distributive property takes a value and multiplies it by a parenthesis. And I will show you all how to do that in just a second. So I'd rather go to the problem set so you can actually see this. Now, and we will deal with evaluating using substitution. But let's go here first. We will cover everything that's in the example. Okay, first, number 1, they ask you to simplify. Now, one thing I do want to say, just to let everyone know this, because some people have missed class, and these videos are just a supplement. It's not in replace of you coming to class. So there are a lot of things that I discuss in class that I do not put on these videos. These videos are reinforcement. So basically, you will have your more extensive definitions. You will have more extensive examples in class. This is just a reinforcement. So for number 1, we have 5 plus x squared minus 3 plus 3x. Now what we want to do is combine like terms. So to combine like terms, first of all, we look at the variables. Let's look at the variables. We have an x squared and an x. In order for the variables to be, well, let me backtrack here. First of all, we have to determine what our terms are. And remember, our terms are separated by addition and subtraction. So we have a term of 5, we have a term of x squared, we got a term of -3, and we have a term of 3x. So when you're doing the subtraction part, the subtraction goes as a negative when you're describing the term. So these are our terms. So when we combine like terms or simplify, I always say look at the variable. In order for the variables to be like terms, they must have the same variables and the same exponent. These do not have the same, they're the same variable, but not the same exponent, so they're not like terms. So I will bring these down using the highest value first. So x squared is more than x, so we'll put x squared, then we'll put plus 3x. That took care of the first 2 terms. Now we go here to the terms that doesn't have the variable. This is positive 5 minus 3. 5 minus 3 is positive 2. So this right here is your final answer. So you combine the like terms. So number 2, we have 2y plus 5 plus 17y plus 8. Now, again, this is one term, this is a second term, third term, fourth term. This is all separated by addition. So it's 4 terms here. Now we got to combine the like terms. We look at the variables first. We have y. Both of them are taken to the same exponent. So what we would do, since this is addition, a positive 2y and a positive 17y, we would add the 2 and the 17, which would give us 19, and we would bring the variable down as is. So this would be 19y. So that took care of the 2y and 17y. Now we got the positive 8 and the positive 5. 5 plus 8 will give us positive 13. So that is our second answer. Now number 3. We have 3x minus 6 times the parenthesis of x minus 9. Now listen. Before we even get to trying to determine how many terms we have this negative 6 multiplied by this parenthesis. So we have to use what is called the distributive property. So first we bring down this 3x. Now we take this negative 6 and multiply by both of these terms. Because remember, terms are separated by addition or subtraction. So you're going to take negative 6 times x, negative 6 times x, and then you're going to take negative 6 times negative 9. So it'll be 3x minus 6x plus 54. Now we could go and do what we did before. This is our first term, our second term, our third term. We look at the variables. We have both of these with x, and both of them taken to the first power. So we can combine these. 3 minus 6, we know it's negative 3. And we'll bring down our x. And then 54, there's nothing to combine with the 54, so we bring it down. Okay, now problem number 4. We have 6x cubed plus 4 plus 2x squared times 15 plus x squared. Now, before we talk about the different terms, we notice here we have 2x squared times the parenthesis of 15. We're doing our order of operations here, and we know we would do multiplication before we do any addition. So we have 6x cubed plus 4 plus 2x squared times 15. 2 times 15 is 30, and you bring down your x squared, and then plus x squared. So now that we did this, we have this first term, second term, third term, fourth term. So now we look at the variables. We have an x cubed. We have no other x's that are x cubed, so we bring that down. Next, we have x squared. We have 2 values that are x squared. This is 30x squared plus x squared. Now, I told you previously, whenever you have a variable and it doesn't have a number in front of it, the number in front of it is assumed to be 1. So since these two are like terms, we'll take 30 plus 1, which is 31, and bring down our x squared. And then 4 we would just bring down as is, because there's no other like term. Okay, now we go to problem number 5. Problem number 5, we have 4 times y plus 8 plus 3 times y minus 6. Now, if you notice here, we're going to have to do the distributive property twice. So we will have 4 times y, and since this is a positive 4, we'll put plus 4 times 8. Now we will have plus 3 times y plus 3 times negative 6. So now we multiply. 4 times y is 4y. 4 times 8 is 32. 3 times y is 3y. And 3 times negative 6 is negative 18. Now we're going to combine the like terms. Again, we have 1 term, 2, 3, 4 terms here. So we look at the variables first. Both of them has y, and both of the y's are taken to the first power, so you can combine them. 4y plus 3y is 7y. 32 and negative minus 18, both of these do not have a variable, so they are like terms. So we could do 32 minus 18, which will give you a positive 14. So your answer is 7y plus 14. Okay, now number 6. You have 5 minus x minus 3 plus 4x. Now, whenever you have a minus in front of a parenthesis, I know that you probably learned previously that you would just change the sign of everything on the inside. But I want to be consistent. Since you have a minus in front of this parenthesis, it's really a minus 1 in front of this parenthesis, even though that 1 is not shown, but I'm showing it now. So you have 5, and then you would take minus 1 times x, and then minus 1 times negative 3. Because you would take this minus 1 times both values, and then we'll bring down our plus 4x. So now, we have 5, a negative 1 times x will give us a minus x. Negative 1 times negative 3 will give us plus 3 plus 4x. Now we have our different terms. These are our terms. So now we look at the variables. We both have an x and both take it to the first power. So we will combine them. This is considered to be a negative 1x plus 4x, which will give you 3x. And then 5 plus 3 is 8. So your answer here is 3x plus 8. Now, if you have questions on number 6, you can rewind it and look it over again, or you could come to class and ask your questions from problem number 6. Okay, now, we go here to problem 7. So problem 7 is trying to separate this. Okay, problem 7, we have 16x plus 6 times x minus 2. Now again, we will be doing a distributive property. We have 16x, then we have plus 6 times x, and then plus 6 times negative 2. So you have 16x plus 6x minus 12. So now we look at our variables. Well, first we isolate our terms. Then we look at our variables. Both have an x, and both of their x's are taken to the first power. 16x plus 6x is 22x. Then we'll bring down our minus 12. So that took care of problem number 7. Problem number 8. We have 5y squared plus 4 minus 3y squared plus 5 plus y. Now again, this is one term, this is another term, another term, another term, and another term. So first we look here at the variables. We have our y squareds. Our y squareds, we can combine them. So 5 minus 3 is 2, and bring down our y squared. That took care of our y squared. We only have one value of y, so we bring that down. Now we're left with 4, a positive 4 and a positive 5, which will give us plus 9. So that would be number 8. Now number 9. We have negative 3 times x plus 3 minus 2 times x plus 4. So now we do the distributive property. We add negative 3 times x and negative 3 times 3. Then we add negative 2 times x and negative 2 times 4. So we multiply. Negative 3 times x is a negative 3x. Negative 3 times 3 will give you a minus 9. Negative 2 times x will give you a minus 2x. And negative 2 times 4 will give you a minus 8. Now we isolate the terms. So now, we got negative 3x and negative 2x. Now, Both of them have the same sign, so that means you add them together. 3 and 2 is 5, and you carry the sign. So that's negative 5x. Negative 9 minus 8, same sign. You add them together, 17, carry the sign. So your answer here is negative 5x minus 17. Okay, so now we move on to problem 10. Problem 10, we have 5x minus the parenthesis x plus 4 minus 3. Now again, I told you, whenever you have a minus sign or a plus sign in front of a parenthesis, it's assumed to be a 1 there. So we'll do the distributive property. We have 5x minus 1 times x minus 1 times 4 minus 3. So it'd be 5x minus 1 times x is minus x minus 1 times 4 is minus 4 minus 3. Now we group them together. We got 1 term, 2 terms, 3 terms, 4 terms. So now we look at the variables. Both of these are x to the first power. So we have 5x minus x. Now we know it's assumed to be a 1 in front of this x. 5x minus 1x is 4x. Then negative 4 minus 3, they have the same sign. You add them together, get 7, and you carry the sign. So it's 4x minus 7 for number 10. Now number 11. Now I want to write out the problem. It says find the value of 6 times x plus 2 plus 7. And they tell you that x is equal to 2. So what they're telling you here is go and substitute in 2 for x. Now I will tell you, when I substitute, I put it in a parenthesis. And the reason why I would want you all to start putting in a parenthesis, because when you start dealing with negative numbers, a lot of times the parenthesis will make sure that you do the problem correctly. So we have 6, and then this x will be replaced by 2 in parenthesis, plus 2, plus 7. So you have 6, and in parenthesis, this is 2 plus 2, which is 4, plus 7. 6 times 4 is 24, plus 7, which is 31. Now, as you see, we substituted and solved. Now, number 12. We'll get another shot at this. Now, number 12 is a little lengthy. So what I'm going to do, I'll write out 12. So we have 3x squared plus 3 times the parenthesis of x plus 4. And then we say that x is equal to 3. Okay, now we will put in 3 wherever x is. So we have 3, then that'll be 3 squared, plus 3, and then in parentheses we have 3 plus 4. So now 3 squared is 9. So we have 3 times 9 plus 3, and 3 plus 4 is 7. So now we have 3 times 9 plus 3 times 7. Now, 3 times 9, I have to go to another sheet. Now start this back up. Now, if you all are having a problem with this, like you have not copied what I put down, you can rewind this and then copy down what I have and then start and pick up where we left off at. So now 3 times 9 is 27 and 3 times 7 is 21. 27 plus 21 is 48. Okay, that took care of problem number 12. Now problem 13. Problem 13. Now, it says find the value of x plus y parentheses squared divided by 2 minus 10. And this is when x is 2 and y is 4. X is 2 and Y is 4. So now we solve this. We substitute first, so X is 2. Then we substitute in 4 for Y, all over 2, minus 10. So in parentheses, this will be 2 plus 4, which is 6, squared over 2 minus 10. 6 to the second power is 36, divided by 2 minus 10. 36 divided by 2 is 18, minus 10 will give you 8. Okay, now 14. It says find the value of y squared plus 16 minus y minus 5 squared. And they tell us that y is 3. So we substitute in 3 for y. Wherever y appeared, we'll put 3 in its place. Now, according to the order of operations, we're supposed to do what's in parentheses first. 3 minus 5 is a negative 2. And that's in parentheses squared. Now, since we're done with the parentheses, now we do the exponents. 3 squared is 9, plus 16 minus. Parentheses negative 2 squared is 4. Okay, now, only thing we have left is addition and subtraction. So we go from left to right. 9 plus 16 is 25, and 25 minus 4 is 21. So 14 is 21. All right. Now we go to problem 15. It says find the value of 8x plus 9y minus 2x plus y. And then this is where x is 4 and y is 6. So now we substitute. So we have 8 times 4 plus 9 times 6 minus 2 times 4 plus 6. So now we do what's in parentheses first. So here we had 2 times 4 is 8 plus 6. So we still have to finish inside that parenthesis. 8 plus 6 is 14. Okay, so now we have multiplication, addition, multiplication, and subtraction. We'll do the multiplication. So that's 32 plus 54 minus 14. 32 and 54 is 86 minus 14. 86 minus 14 is 72. Okay, that takes care of problem 15. Now we go to 16. Problem 16, find the value of x squared plus 3y minus 4 plus 2 times x minus z. So now we substitute. Now, well, I'll write that down. X is 7, y is 5, and z is negative 3. Now we substitute. X is 7, y is 5, so x is 7, and then z is negative 3. So now we look inside the parenthesis. So we have 7 minus a negative 3, that becomes 7 plus 3. So we have 7 squared plus 3 times 5 minus 4 plus 2. And then 7 plus 3 is 10. All right, now what we're left with is an exponent, addition, multiplication, and subtraction. We do the exponent first. So we have 49 plus 3 times 5 minus 4 plus 2 times 10. Now we're left with addition, subtraction, and multiplication. We'll do the multiplication. So this will be 15. 3 times 5 is 15. Minus 4 and 2 times 10 is 20. Now we just have addition and subtraction. So we'll just add and subtract going from left to right. 49 plus 15 is 64. Minus 4 plus 20. 64 minus 4 is 60. Plus 20 is 80. All right, problem 17. Find the value of 14 minus x to the second power plus 20 times the square root of x when x is 9. So we have 14 minus 9 squared plus 20 times the square root of 9. So now, 14 minus 9 is 5, and that's squared. Plus 20, the square root of 9 is 3. Okay, now we're just left with an exponent and multiplication. 5 squared is 25. 20 times 3 is 60. 25 plus 60 is 85. Okay, that was problem 17. Now we go to problem 18. Find the value of 3 times 2x minus y all over 3 plus 6 times y minus 5. And then we have x is negative 2, and we have y is 3. So now we have 3 times 2 times negative 2 minus 3 all over 3 plus 6 times y is 3 minus 5. So now 2 times negative 2, remember we do what's in parentheses first. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4 minus 3 all over 3 plus 6 times, in this parenthesis, 3 minus 5 is negative 2. So now we had 3 times a negative 4 minus 3 is negative 7 all over 3. And then 6 times a negative 2 will give us a minus 12. 6 times negative 2 will give us a minus 12. So 3 times negative 7 is negative 21 over 3 minus 12. Negative 21 divided by 3 is negative 7 minus 12. Negative 7 minus 12 is negative 19. So that took care of problem 18. Now we go to problem 19. It says find the value of x squared minus x cubed plus 3. And this is when x is negative 2. So we'll put in negative 2 for x. Okay, so now we do what's in parentheses first. So this will be negative 2 to the third power, which is negative 8 plus 3. So this will be negative 2 squared minus negative 8 plus 3 is negative 5. Negative 2 squared is 4, and minus a negative 5 would be plus 5. So number 19 will be 9. Number 20, we have 30x plus 2 plus 2y squared minus 3 times x minus 2 squared. And they want us to find the value when x is 1 and y is 4. So we have 30 times 1 plus 2 times y is 4 minus 3, x is 1 minus 2 squared. So we do what's inside parentheses first. So 1 minus 2 is negative 1, and that's squared. Now, if you notice, we have multiplication, addition, and subtraction, and also exponents. So we do the exponents next. 4 squared is 16, and negative 1 squared is 1. Now we got multiplication, addition, and subtraction, so we'll do multiplication. 30 times 1 is 30, plus 2 times 16 is 32, and minus 3 times 1 is minus 3. Now we add addition and subtraction. We go from left to right. So 30 plus 2 is 32, plus 32 minus 3. 32 plus 32 is 64, minus 3 is 61. Okay, now that took care of problem 20. Now we have 3 more problems to go. It says choose the one best answer to each question. Which of the following expressions is equal to 3x squared plus 3 times x minus 3 plus x plus 10? Now, in order to do that, problem 21, we had 3x squared plus 3 times x minus 3 plus x plus 10. Now, what they want us to do, they want us to go through and combine like terms. So we had 3x squared, and we would take this 3, use the distributive property, it would be 3 times x plus 3 times negative 3 plus x plus 10. Now, we had 3x squared, 3 times x is 3x, 3 times negative 3 is a minus 9, plus x plus 10. Now we combine like terms. There's only one term with an x squared. Then we add 3x and x, which will give us 4x. So this will get rid of these. Negative 9 plus 10 will give us positive 1. So 3x squared plus 4x plus 1, that's D. Now 22, it says given the expression 4x squared minus 3 times y plus 6, which of the following values for x and y will result in a value of negative 11? All right. So basically what they want us to do here, they want us to play around with this for 22. All right. So we have 4x squared minus 3 times y plus 6. Now, we could go through, let's try A. So we have 4 times 2, because x is 2, and then y is 3. Because we really have no way of knowing which will work and which will not unless we go through and do it. So 3 plus 6 is 9, because we have to do this parenthesis first. Now we do the exponent, it'd be 4 times 4 minus 3 times 9. Now we have multiplication and subtraction. We multiply. 4 times 4 is 16. A minus 3 times 9 is a minus 27. 16 minus 27 is negative 11, which would give us what we're looking for. So our answer here would be A. So it turned out that A was the answer, and that's great because we don't have to go through all the rest. Okay, now, problem 23. Problem 23, it states, question 23 refers to the following information. It says that the temperature is 68 degrees Fahrenheit. What is the temperature in Celsius? Now listen, I know when you look at these formulas, because they gave you Fahrenheit, I know a lot of you would be tempted to use this Fahrenheit formula, but no, since they gave us Fahrenheit, if we put the 68 here, once we solve this side, it would give us C. So whatever one they give you, you would get the opposite formula. They gave us Fahrenheit, we do the Celsius formula. If they would have gave us Celsius, we would have used the Fahrenheit formula. Okay, so now 23, they want us to solve for Celsius. So Celsius is equal to 5/9 times Fahrenheit minus 32. And we're told that our Fahrenheit, our F, is equal to 68 degrees. So we'll have C is equal to 5/9 times F becomes 68 minus 32. So you have 5/9. 68 minus 32 is 36. Okay, so now we'll put a 1 under the 36. 5 times 36 is 180, and 9 times 1 is 9. 180 divided by 9 is 20. So it's 20 degrees, which is A. So that takes care of the second part of lesson 6, and there is a third part, and I will upload this to YouTube. Have a wonderful day.